Hello and welcome to Tottenham America, where we will be looking over and reviewing Tottenham Hotspur's 3-1 away win over Ludogorets Razgrad. It was a solid win over Ludogorets in our third game of the UEFA Europa group stage. We started off things really strongly in the 13th minute with a goal from Harry Kane. This was his 200th goal for Tottenham Hotspur in just 300 Spurs appearances.
It was a brilliant cross from Moura into the middle, and Kane's very dangerous in the air, and he gets a good header into the top right corner. And the goalie does get a touch on it, but can't keep it out.
It's not enough. And then just over 15 minutes later, Mora got our second goal of the game.
Gareth Bale with a brilliant pass through to Harry Kane. Harry Kane sets it up for Moura, and he finishes it.
It was a really well-worked goal, especially between Harry Kane and Gareth Bale. And it was just good build-up. Ludogorets did manage to get one back in the 50th minute through Kasheru. It was a pretty lucky goal, to be honest. There was a shot taken just outside the box.
And it was very lucky for Ludogorets. It just a lucky flick. And Eric Dyer and the defenders were calling for offside, but on the replays, he looked well onside.
Yep, and he volleyed it past Joe Hart. But we regained a 2-goal lead after Giovanni La Salsa scored his third goal in the European competitions this season.
It was a brilliant impact from Sun. He just came onto the pitch like 15 seconds earlier, and he already sets up the goal. You'd expect him to take a shot from there, but he wanted someone to get a goal there.
Yep.
He's been getting lots of goals this season. I think that was good from Son.
Yep.
And it was a good finish from Lo Celso.
Yeah, really good finish from Lo Celso. And that was the end of the goal story for then. And now we're going to be reviewing the player rating. So we'll start off with goalkeeper Joe Hart.
I'm going to give him a 6 because he didn't really get to do anything. He only made one save, but I think he did well with that one save, and he did well to cover the ground and stuff.
Yeah.
Cover his ground.
There wasn't much he could do for the goal, really, because either it was offside. I think it was in like that awkward position where is the goalie gonna come out and get it, or is the goalie gonna get injured from the kick from the striker? So I think it was a bit shaky from him, but other than that, he was really good. So I'm gonna give him a 6.5. All right, next up is Matt Doherty.
I'm gonna give him a 6.5. He didn't really do that much. In the first half, he had a good shot on goal. He was creating a little bit on the right hand side. He had one really good flick pass to Lo Celso.
Yeah.
He made one or two, he gave away position one or two times.
Yeah, I think in the second half.
It wasn't his best performance, but he did his job. He didn't make any big mistakes.
I think in the first half he got forward a lot better than he has done in the recent matches. He's been really electric. He was really electric on that right-hand side today. He didn't really make that big of an impact, but he was swinging in really good crosses that if it weren't for a towering header from the defender, one of those guys one of Kane or Bale could have put in. But yeah, I think it was a good performance in the first half. Second half, he kind of looked a little more shaky. He didn't do as well in the second half, but still a 7.0 rating for Matt Doherty. And next up is Toby Alderweireld.
I'm gonna give him a 7 because he didn't do that much. He didn't have that many chances to put up a good ball. He had one good ball, but it kind of set up a cross, but not really a big chance. So I'm gonna give him a 7. And he was solid defensively. He did his job.
Yeah. I'm gonna give him a 7 as well. He's had some really underrated performances recently. He's been pinging long balls up to the forward guys in Gareth Bale, Harry Kane, Mora, and Gio La Celso. But he's also been defending really well, especially in the air. So I'm going to give him a 7.5. Next up is Eric Dyer.
I'm going to give him a 6.5. I didn't really see much of him in this game. He didn't look shaky at all. He did his job again, but he didn't do anything good. He didn't do anything bad.
Yeah, he didn't do anything exceptionally great or exceptionally bad. He was just kind of defending well and all that. So I'm going to give him a 6.5 as well. Lastly, in the defending line is Ben Davies.
I'm gonna give him a 7. I remember in the first half, at the beginning of the first half and up until like the 40th minute or like 35th minute, he was doing very well. And then he started dropping back a little bit when he had clear chances to push forward. And Mourinho was telling him to push forward. You could kind of hear him telling him to push forward, get the crosses more like Reguilon would do. What Reguilon would do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's kind of like he's teaching. He's
learning
from Reguilon.
Yeah. I'm gonna give Ben Davies a 7 as well. In the first half, I think he's improved a lot going forward. He can get the crosses in. He goes on the overlap of the winger. But I think today, he just drops back a little too deep. Especially when like he passes the ball off, he just drops back too deep. He needs to stay a little more forward to keep the chance alive. But still, a really improved performance. Next up, we're gonna go with Harry Winks.
Harry Winks. I'm gonna give him an 8. He did very well, especially in defense. He won back possession a lot, and he did very well. In the second half, he also did very well defensively, but he also did well attacking.
Yeah.
He did very well. This season, he hasn't been performing that well, but this is definitely his best performance this season.
Yeah. I'm going to give him a 7.5 because the first half he was pinging balls up to Kane. He was playing forward, defense breaking through balls. He was defending beautifully. It's a big step up from that West Ham game. But the second half he definitely downgraded slightly. He defended poorly. Some of his passes were a little wayward, but his first half performance was definitely incredible.
I think he's a good pair with Lo Celso.
Yeah.
He plays a lot better with Lo Celso. Like you could see against West Ham, the reason we let in those goals because we were playing 3 defensive mid.
I think
if we had Winks and Lo Celso, I think Lo Celso was injured at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe if we had Winks and Ndombele on, that would have been a lot better.
Yeah, because I think 3 defensive midfielders, no one knows who's going to go up and no one knows who's going to stay back. But next up is Musa Sissoko.
I'm going to give him a 7.5. He was subbed off for Hoybier at halftime, but I think he did well in the first half. He did well.
Yeah.
He didn't make any mistakes.
No.
He had some good tackles. He
high
won
work
back possession. Had some good runs.
Mm-hmm.
No chances though, but good.
Yes, I'm going to give him a 7. Next up is the man who ran the show today, Giovanni La Salsa.
For me, he's man of the match.
Me too.
I'm going to give him an 8.5.
Okay, I'm going to give him a 9. He was insane today.
He was very good. Lots of good runs through the middle. Lots of good passes, too. And especially that goal. Sonny did well to set it up, but he just tapped it in. Mm-hmm. And I think he did very well, especially...
He was creating so many chances.
At the end, you could see he was trying to set up goals for Vinicius because he wanted him to get goals. I think everyone wanted that.
Yeah. But it was a really good performance. And there was a comment by Jose Mourinho after the match. I think he said that, like, you're not seeing the full Gio Lo Celso yet. He was good on the ball, but he was not so great off the ball. And he's saying that we're yet to see the best of him. So that's a big statement to make. Next up was Gareth Bale.
I'm going to give him a 7. He did well. Especially he was setting up chances for Harry Kane and Lucas Moura in the first half. But otherwise, I think he did well. He got subbed off for on in the 65th minute, I'm pretty sure.
61st. For Son.
61st for Son.
And then Son assisted in 62nd.
Yes.
But I'm going to give Gareth Bale a 7 as well. He was creating chances and he looked way more sharp than when we first got him back from Real Madrid. That goal, I think, really helped his morale on the pitch. But next up, we're going to go to the other wing and look at Lucas Moura.
I'm going to give him a 7 as well. He did pretty well, especially in the attacking side. He gave away position. I don't think his passing this game wasn't that good, but he had good dribbles. He didn't really do anything wrong, except he had scuffed some passes.
Yeah. And
he had some good runs, of course, and he had the goal.
Yeah. I'm gonna give Lucas Moura an 8. For the first half, he was really good. Just generally, just running all across the pitch, making sure He had the ball a lot. He was getting the ball into dangerous areas. He was making the runs, and then I think he had a really good performance, just in general.
Yes.
And then last up is Harry Kane.
I'm gonna give him an 8. He did very well with that header, and then with the goal. He was setting up chances. He had he had this like really good shot that rattled the post.
Yeah.
From distance.
Yep.
That was brilliant. I think he had one in the first minute.
Yeah.
Harry Winks put a ball up to him, and
I think he should have finished, but I think he just got a bad touch.
It was kind of tough. It's kind of tough to keep the
volley
height low.
It like that. Yeah.
If the only way you would probably score is either to like just toe it in, but the goalkeeper's probably gonna save it, or you're just gonna hit the roof of the net.
Yeah.
And we've seen Sun do that a couple times.
Yeah. I would give him a 7.5. I apologize for the comment I made before. Hyunmin Sun came on for Lucas Moura, not Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale actually went off for Steven Bergwein. But now we're going to go on to the subs. We won't be looking at Tanguy and Ndombele because he only played about 12 minutes of football, so that wasn't enough to exactly judge a performance. But we'll start with Pierre Emil Hoybier, who was subbed off for Musa Sissoko in the 45th minute.
I'm going to give him an 8. He did very well. It's just a classic Hoybier. No one can replace him. No. He's just too good.
The guy was on for 45 minutes and he dropped an 8 out of 10. No, he's just really so important to this Tottenham side. He just keeps things flowing, and he's just generally like one of the most important aspects to this team. And I think he'll be, if we do win silverware this year, it'll definitely be thanks to him.
He's kind of keeping this Tottenham team together. If we lose him, this Tottenham team will fall apart.
Yeah.
Especially on the defensive side. Maybe not the attacking. The attacking probably will fall apart a good amount.
Yeah.
Like, it will not entirely, but he's very important for winning the back possession.
Yeah. Also, I think hopefully Harry Winks can improve his defensive play a bit, because if we need to give Hoybier a rest, like today, I think Harry Winks covered that position really well.
I think Musa Sissoko might be a little better.
I think he's a bit more attacking minded.
They're both about the same.
Yeah.
Attacking minded and defensive.
But I think Harry Winks might be a little better defensively, especially today.
Yes.
Because the only games we're really gonna rest Hoybier is in the small group stage and against lower league opposition.
Yeah.
So I think Harry Winks should be able to deal with those kinds of attacks.
Yes.
But next up we're gonna go on to Carlos Vinicius, who was also subbed on at the halftime interval for Harry Kane.
I think I'm gonna give him a 7. He did very well. He had some electric runs. He had a couple chances too. He couldn't finish though. Mm-hmm. A lot of them were blocked.
Yeah.
A lot of his teammates were trying to get him a goal.
In. Yeah.
Like in one of Hoybier's free kick, Hoybier took.
He smashed it into the goalkeeper. I think in the hopes that
it rebounded to Vinicius, but it just went too much to the right. It almost worked.
Yeah. I'm gonna give him a 6.5. He had one clear cut chance when Celso cut it back to him. He just couldn't finish. I don't know if he wasn't expecting it or he took it too quickly, but he just could not sort his feet out. But I think he was really good. His hold up play is really exceptional. He can hold up the ball so much. And next up, we're going to move on to Hyunmin Sun, who came on in the 61st minute for Lucas Moura.
I'm going to give him a 6.5. He didn't do that much. He just set up that goal. A good run. He had 2 good runs, I remember. Mm-hmm. One run was a good chance. The other one was the goal, leading up to the goal as soon as he came on. Otherwise, a decent performance from Hyunmin Sun. Yeah.
I'm going to give him a 7. He came on right away and showed his quality by immediately setting up a goal for Giovanni La Salsa. But other than that, he was making good runs, he was collecting the ball well, and he was playing good balls out to people like Gareth Bale while he was on, Steven Bergwein, who came on later, and he was linking up well with all the forwards. But we're going to move on to Steven Bergwein next, who is going to be the last substitute that we'll be reviewing, seeing as Tanguy Ndombele again only got 12 minutes of gameplay.
I'm going to give Steven Bergwein a 6.5. He didn't do that much. He had 1 or 2 good runs, I remember. Otherwise, he had 1 shot. I think he gave away possession 2 times or 3 times. I think one of them he shouldn't have given away. Others were just good challenges, but he did well. He did well on the attacking side.
Right.
He did his job.
I'm going to disagree with you.
He was the winner that we needed.
I'm going to give him a 7.5. He may not have gotten a goal, but he looked like that guy that we signed in January. He looked like on top of his game. His talent was there. His speed was there, and he was all over the place today. He was playing good balls. He was making good runs. He had some good chances, but not really anything that he could finish. But yeah, I think it was a really good performance from the Dutch winger. So our next game is Sunday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be against West Bromwich Albion. So expect a player review after that game. But for now, that's the end of this video.
Until next time, come on you Spurs!